Good morning, everyone, and thank you for dialing in today. As we've got a few people registered, we'll wait just a moment or two before we begin, just to allow everyone to join and get comfortable. We've still got a few people coming in slowly. Okay, so I think that's everyone. So I'm just going to start. Good morning. My name is Haifa Khatib, and I'm a marketing assistant here at InfoTrack. Welcome to today's webinar, where we'll be hearing about InfoTrack's AP1 Digital AP1 solution. Joining us today is Bella Fishwick, who is going to be going through the Digital AP1 solution and letting us find out as much information as possible about it. Before we begin the webinar, I would like to draw your attention to the Q&A tab, which is located at the bottom of your screen. We will be running a Q&A at the end of this session, so please type in any questions you might have for Bella, along with your name, into the Q&A box. That way, if we do run out of time, your question requires further clarification, we can extract your information and follow up with you directly after the webinar. So I'm now going to hand you over to Bella. Thank you.
Brilliant, thank you. So as mentioned, I'm Bella and I'm a product manager here at InfoTrack. I'm basically responsible for managing our land registry products, which includes changing and improving them as well. So I'm just going to turn my camera off so that I can go ahead with the presentation. Brilliant. So in today's webinar, I'm going to cover a brief introduction and overview of our solution and explain how we can support your transition to digital AP1s. I'll then explain what our clients like about the solution and what you need to consider when moving to a new digital solution. Next, I'll show you our digital AP1 in action, from easy and quick submissions using a single form and pre-population from your matter, to general AP1 management, like responding to requisitions. And then finally, we'll finish with a Q&A if there are any further questions. So here at InfoTrack, we've been offering digital AP1 submissions since 2016. Throughout that time, we've helped over 1,000 firms submit their AP1s, which is around 750,000 submissions. And as you can see from the slide, we've had some really good feedback on how our solution has helped all of our users. So why is InfoTrack the best solution for you? The first thing would be our experience. As I just mentioned, we've been doing this for 6 years, and AP1s have been available to submit throughout that time. What this has meant is that we're able to see what has worked and what hasn't. And as a result, we've made hundreds of updates and improvements to optimize our AP1 submissions. These updates are always based on our users and their feedback, but we also work closely with Land Registry to ensure any changes are approved by them. Next, our solution is easy to use. We've designed it to be a simple and user-friendly solution with a single-page form on submission, adding in validations and easy management tools like our requisition dashboard. And all of the benefits of our platform are shown in our evidence. We can see that on average, our clients' requisitions can be reduced by up to 30%, which is obviously a huge benefit for our users, saving them lots of time. And we're also one of Land Registry's biggest users and key business partners. So what do our clients think matter, and what should you think about when considering moving to a digital AP1 solution? The first thing would be dashboards. These are commonly referred to as a key benefit. They allow full firm visibility and control of all matters, meaning there's no barriers if you have to maybe pick up another colleague's file. Second would be better access to caseworkers. We have a message functionality which allows firms to liaise with their caseworkers directly via a WhatsApp style chat. And then finally, the presence of proper integrations. As you can see at the bottom, we have a number of case management systems that we integrate with. In terms of why our integrations are proper, what we mean is that we can actually pull information from the relevant file on your case management system to pre-populate our forms. Once submitted, we can then return these forms back to your case management system, which removes any further manual steps for you. So just before I go ahead and show you our Digital AP1, I'm just going to go through what to look out for as I go through the demo. Number one, integrations. So how can we support data population through integrations and save you time? Number two, validations. I mentioned this previously, but we've built several validations and you'll be able to see how these reduce mistakes and prevent incorrect information from being submitted. And then lastly, requisitions. How can we support you in managing your requisitions and applications too? Great, so I'm now just going to swap over to our InfoTrack platform so I can start the demo. So there's two ways to access our InfoTrack platform. The first is via an integrated case management system, and you'd come into the InfoTrack matter via the file on your case management system. And what this would mean is it would allow data population from the file into InfoTrack, which would prevent rekeying information which has already been inputted into your file. And it would also mitigate the risk of incorrect information in your AP1. The second way, though, is to access InfoTrack via the website. This still allows for data population, but the population will come from other InfoTrack products, such as the SDLT. As you can see today, I've accessed InfoTrack via the website, and this is the matter I'm going to be using. This again as well, here is our existing orders dashboard, so you'll be able to see any relevant orders and existing matters on InfoTrack. On the matter that I'm using today, as you can see, I've already completed some orders such as our searches, register title documents, and our SDLT5. What this again will mean is once I go through the AP1, you can see how the information is populated through. So our AP1, it sits under the post-completion workflow up here, just underneath the SDLT. However, you can also access the AP1 via your matter reference, which is what I'm going to do today. So I'll just access it there. And once you're inside the AP1s, as you can see, it's pulling through the information from my matter reference. So my matter is just up here. And from that matter reference, it allows all of that information from the file to be added into the AP1 form. Depending on the orders that have already been placed or whether you're using a case management system, we can populate up to 90% of the form. So I'll just start completing the missing information, starting with the registration type and the picker dealing. As you can see here as well, we've populated the title information from the title documents ordered on the matter, and you can also add additional title numbers here. What I'll also do is verify the title number. So if I just click in and out, it verifies the title number and also gives me the address. Again, reducing the risk of cancellation due to an incorrect title number. All required fields are also have the red asterisk here. This again prevents submission with missing information. And we've also been able to populate the local authority and the property postcode here, so I can move straight to our priority application section. Here you can select the relevant applications that you're wishing to register from the drop-down menu. We split the forms up into multiple and common forms, making it easier and saving you time to pick those frequent applications without having to go through and add each one separately. However, if you have a less common or more complex application, you can come down here and that's where the other applications are. For example, if you're wanting to submit maybe a TR5 or staircasing application. For today's demo though, I'm just going to select a discharge, transfer and charge. Once selected, the forms show in the priority order. However, if for whatever reason you needed to change those, you can quickly drag and drop to change the order there. You can also see more validations here, such as the mandatory electronically signed question. This integrates with our Sign It for Deeds products. We built the integration to ensure you have met the Practice Guide 82 requirements and uploaded your conveyancer certificate if your deed is electronically signed. Therefore, if you select yes, we automatically look for and upload your conveyancer certificate into the supporting documents. Here you can upload the relevant applications. And for those that are integrated, you can upload the files directly from your matter in your case management system. And on the right-hand side here is our AP1 guidance and also our reduced requisitions. These are dynamic guidance, so it changes depending on what's entered in your AP1 form, but it's really helpful, especially if there are new users. So I'm now going to move down to the land registry fee section. As you can see here, we have already calculated the fee based on the value entered in the SDLT form. Again, this saves you time as it prevents you from leaving the page to use the separate calculator. Under the supporting documents, we are also able to upload the SDLT file from the matter. So you can just see it there. And again, saving you time from switching between tabs and uploading different things, and also reducing requisitions for missing information. The next three sections make up what was panel 13 in the paper AP1 form. So we've split these up into three sections to make the form easier to use and understand. The first section is the applicant and applicant lenders. Under this section, we've been able to populate the purchaser here from the SDLT. And we're also able to start associating roles to parties. So as you can see here, we have the transferee and the borrower role. And this is because the system can tell that there's the charge and the transfer. So these are the roles that will need to be associated to those applications. However, if you needed to add a separate role, an additional role, you can use the drop down here and we have all the other available roles. You'll just pick the most relevant one. All I need to do now in this section is add the relevant lender. I'll just start typing, and as you can see, we give a drop-down list of all the lenders here. If you then select from the list, we will pre-populate the address of the lender for the service of the new charge, and we'll give them the lender role too. This would prevent you having to go back and recheck any information and also rekeying those details as well. Just here we have the lodging conveyancer, and again it's been pre-populated, but there's a drop down here, so if you needed to select a different lodging conveyancer you can do so. For example, if maybe someone is drafting the AP1 but the lodging conveyancer will come in at a later date to submit it. And now we'll go down to the proprietors section. Again, we're able to populate the proprietors from the SDLT, and we can associate their roles, the borrower and transferor, in relation to the discharge and the transfer. As well, the conveyancer too, that's come from the SDLT. So other parties, if there was a third party or anyone else, you can add them in here. And this, we can then go down to the associate application section. This is where we need to review the applications and parties and confirm they're correct. Because the AP1 is a smart form, we're able to complete this section based on the information that's already been added into the AP1. So for example, we have your proprietors here, and we've given their borrower roles for the discharge, transferee and transferors for the transfer, and so on. This section obviously looks slightly different to what the paper form, AP1 form looks like, but we've designed it to ensure that even those with less experience who maybe haven't submitted as many paper AP1s can easily use it and can easily see each party and then which application the party relates to. So just moving down the form here, we have the registered address as well. Again, you can select from the drop down, but you can also manually enter the address. And the disclosable interest as well, we've automatically defaulted that to no. Next is the LMS integration that we offer. So here you can select the relevant LMS case number. And what this will mean is that we automatically upload the AP1 submission receipt into the LMS conveyancer zone. What we can also do is once the AP1 has been completed, we'll automatically upload your completion document into that section as well. Again, this stops you having to manually do it yourself and go into LMS separately. Our notes section here also allows for full form flexibility. You can add any additional notes to the land registry in this section and they'll go through and accompany your application. We also have MRO1 lodgement, so software, so we can populate the certificate wording straight into this section too. At the bottom here, we have the credentials. So this is where you'd add your land registry credentials. You can either add them here or in your settings page, and would normally only need them added once. And once they've been added, we'll obviously won't ask for those again. And there's the third party section 2. Here you can select the relevant user and they'll receive the correspondence, requisitions and alerts for this AP1. On the left hand side as well, we have our overview. You can easily see everything that's been added to your AP1 before submission and kind of check through those details. We have the save option here. So you can save the AP1 and come back to it at a later date. And in the top right hand corner here is our FAQs. So I'm just going to click on that. And if you type in the relevant keyword, for example, power of attorney, you'd see all the questions and answers that are commonly asked. So this is really handy. A lot of people do use this when they want to find out an answer to their query. Great, so that's the AP1. I'm now going to switch over to our AP1 dashboard. So the dashboard is just down the left-hand side. Just going to click into it here. We know managing submissions and requisitions is obviously integral to all law firms. So we've built our dashboard to give full visibility and easy management. In here, you can filter applications by user, and you can also filter them by AP1 status. So for example, if you wanted to see just your in-progress applications, you can filter it there. We also have the export option here, so you can export the information on the dashboard into a CSV file. I'm just going to go into this top AP1 with the requisition outstanding. So on the left-hand side here is where you'd see all the relevant orders on this file, would keep everything on the same file in one place. And then on the right-hand side here is our chat function. And as you can see, it's almost like a WhatsApp style chat where you can contact your caseworker directly. With this, we've also built in some handy functions, such as the ability to acknowledge a requisition. This is here, so that tick means it's been acknowledged, and you can also leave an internal note for a colleague there. Obviously, really good if colleagues are picking up files and you maybe need to leave notes for them so they know what to do next. We also have the respond to requisition option here. At the top is the regenerate details. So this can be used to regenerate the details in panel 13. We built this because we know that panel 13 is obviously a common cause of requisitions. So it's a predefined template that you can easily add amendments to and send to the land registry. And it's basically in a format that we know that they'll accept. However, if there was anything else you want to let your caseworker know, you can do so here just in the free type message box. Next, we also have our request HMLR action. So these are, again, requests and actions for your caseworker. You can easily select one here. There's predefined questions. And if there's any further information, we give the text box here. Again, it will go directly to your caseworker in a predefined format that they accept, and they'll be able to respond back. So just come out of here. And then lastly is our calendar on the right-hand side. This is particularly useful because you can keep track of your AP1s and priorities as well. So any AP1 cancellations or OS expiry dates, you can keep up to track from there. And the top right-hand side here is our help desk number. So our help desks are great. They're really good AP1 experts in the team. So if you ever did need any help with your AP1 submission or management, you can give them a call and they'll be there to help you and guide you through. So that's everything in terms of the demo and the platform. I'll just quickly kind of go over what I've shown you. So obviously how to completely submit your AP1 and quickly do this as a single page on InfoTrack. Also how we pre-populate up to 90% of your AP1 from data mapped on your matter. How to use our AP1 dashboard to stay on top of all your submissions firm-wide, including contacting your caseworker directly, and how you and your firm can can benefit from digital AP1 submissions with InfoTrack's simple, time-saving post-completion software. Great, that's all in terms of the demo. I'm now going to pass back to Haifa for any further questions. I'll stop sharing my screen now as well.
Thank you, Bella. I'm just going to get the Q&A started now. So, okay, so thank you for your presentation and insights. I can see we've had some questions come through from our audience. So we're just going to jump straight into the Q&A part of the webinar. So the first question that we have here is, can I lodge complex applications via InfoTrack's AP1?
Yeah, you can. We obviously offer several applications that can be submitted, including complex ones. Off the top of my head, staircasing, portfolio applications, they can all be submitted as well. You just kind of go through and choose the relevant application.
Thank you. The next question here is, sorry, just one moment. Is there an admin fee for using the AP1 on InfoTrack? Also, when will it allow for transfers of part?
Yeah, in terms of fees, if you maybe leave your details, it would be best for us to contact you directly in regards to that. And transfers of part, they can be submitted through InfoTrack. So at the top on the registration type, you just select your transfer of part.
Okay. And how do I pay the registration fee?
So the registration fee, that's normally direct debited directly from Land Registry. So the EDRS credentials that you enter into your InfoTrack account mean that they can directly take those fees.
Another question we have here, if a requisition is raised, do you get a notification?
Yeah, you do. So any requisitions that are raised, any alerts, anything like that, they'll all be sent through to you via email. So you'll be notified by email straight away, and then you can kind of go on and respond to the requisition.
Okay, thank you. And do you also need to lodge a paper AP1 form?
No, so you don't need to lodge that paper AP1 form. What we're doing is those predefined fields that we give. It means that we're collecting the data and we can then send that data electronically to the Land Registry.
Okay, thank you. I think that's all the questions we have. If anyone did have any other questions that they wanted to submit, please do submit them. I would just like to say, for the meantime, a big thank you to Bella for joining us today. I hope you've all found this session helpful and informative. If you have any other questions about anything you've learned today, then please do contact us using the details I'm going to share on the screen in a moment, or reach out to your account manager who will be able to assist you. This session is being recorded and we will send you a copy so you can refer back to it. So let me just quickly share my screen for the contact details. Those are the contact details. Oh, we have another question come in. Is Proclaim one of the case management systems which data can be populated from?
Yeah, I do believe Proclaim is. I would need to double check that. Sorry, I don't know off the top of my head. I need the screen back with all the case management systems in, but I do believe so.
Yeah, I believe it is as well. And if you have two separate transfers, one signed by seller and a separate signed by sellers, will it allow you to upload them separately?
Yeah, so what you'd need to do in that instance is you'd put one against your priority application. So you'd pick kind of the transfer and put the one form there, and you can then upload the second one in the supporting documents. So obviously it's the same transfer, just signed twice. So you'd just do that under supporting documents for the Land Registry.
Okay, wonderful. I think now that's all the questions that we have. So thank you so much for joining us, and thank you to everyone for your questions. And I hope you have a wonderful day.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.